I can see you now.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another exciting adventure of Insurance Questions Podcast number 272. We're going to do things a little bit different. We found out that the quality is so much better if we tape before we broadcast. So unfortunately, we are not, for the foreseeable future, we are not going to be doing live broadcasts, which is probably a good thing because Dad didn't like seeing crazy stuff. I guess, just gotta let him know that he's gotta watch his P's and Q's and his FU's too. This morning's show is sponsored by our new friends at PG Gringo, pggringo.org. They have shirts, they have hats, they have long sleeve stuff. Look at Can you see it yet?
Yes, now it just came up.
I like this. So it's a funny idea. They got stuff for women too. And go there, you're gonna find something that makes you laugh, and you're gonna get a lot of people asking, so what's that mean? It means I love you. I love you, Pinchy Gringo. No, it doesn't, but and when you go to check out in your shopping cart for the northern friends and for our people down south, when y'all put it in your buggy, put in the promo code Buffalo, you will definitely get a 15% off. So once again, go to our friends at Pinchy Gringo, find something cool, and you're good to go. So Donnie, how are you this morning? Oh, by the way, all the comments and statements by Eddie Buffalo and Donnie are purely for entertainment purposes. Go ahead, Don. I got nothing to do.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Best way to experience the podcast is if you go to our YouTube channel, which is EBI Media Insurance Questions Podcast. EBI Media Insurance Questions Podcast. If you prefer to listen, basically wherever you listen to podcasts, we're there. We're on 53 different podcast depositories. So like, share, and subscribe if you so choose. Hit the fan mail button. If you'd like to communicate with us, you can send us ideas for future episodes. You can just say, hey, how you doing? or just give us some other questions. How you doing? Just know that we appreciate you taking time out of your day to spend it with us. We're very grateful for you. So, all right, Eddie, I guess you're ready.
I am ready. So what's been in the news lately a lot is what's going on in the finance world with Bitcoin, with gold, and one thing people are talking about is fixed deferred annuities or annuities, just period, Yeah. And the rule of thumb, and I'm sure you were taught the same way, Don, is that the safest investment right now, according to all these pundits and all these people, are boring old life insurance. If you have whole life insurance, if you have health good enough to get a sizable amount and you're at an age where it's possible. Like if you're 84 years old and you decide you want to get whole life, what's going to happen, Don?
Well, you may not get it.
That's it. I would say you're 99.9% because you really should have done it earlier. And there's so many people that don't like talking about life insurance. And you gotta sometimes look at it a different way. Like when my grandchildren were born, I made sure I bought insurance for them. I wish I had bought insurance for my kids a lot earlier than I did, because it does help out with college expenses and things like that. What do I mean by that, John?
Well, it's where you get to, depending on the policy, but a whole life or even a universal life, there is some cash value that accumulates, and you can access that cash value to use for whatever you would like to use it for. So there are, great benefits of that. We've talked about this in the past, prior episodes, how, you've heard of people utilizing the cash value of their whole life insurance policies to start a business, to maintain payroll during very difficult economic times, to be the initial seed funding for totally, brand new ideas that banks were a little hesitant to help fund from very reputable business people. So I'm talking about Walt Disney, when he started the Magic Kingdom. He utilized the cash value of his whole life insurance policies. He had more than one.
So Donnie, I was on YouTube the other day, and guess what? They started posting Wonderful World of Disney, like full episodes. Which
Oh,
I remember
really?
every night watching that stuff when I was a kid. You know what
Oh,
I mean?
yeah, me too.
And so a little segue in between, you know, why you should do something safe and to set of that. And we talked about this yesterday, and neither one of us could come up with the right figure. What is the highest Bitcoin has ever gone up to? And that was in October of 2025.
Yeah, I was thinking it was around 123 or 125,000.
You are so close now. It's 126.
Okay.
So what do you think it's trading on right this second?
I think it's a little bit above. It's probably around 68,000. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't check.
$68,023.69, and it's live right now at 8:34 Central Time.
Okay.
Wednesday, February 11th. So it's scary. It is really scary. I mean, like I said, insurance and annuities isn't sexy. I've said that before, but it's boring for a reason. I mean, it's safe. You know, we have some products that'll pay out. Well, let's go a little bit slower. So a lot of the life insurance companies, depending on who you go to, you're going to get 6% a year, which isn't a lot of money. But for a lot of people that used to just plunk their money in their savings account, which makes no sense at all. Or by, hey, Donnie, you get grandkid, why don't you go buy them a savings fund? That's not done either, because it makes no sense. I mean, you can do so much more with your money a safe way. And what I am postulating that, and my theory on Bitcoin is twofold. Number one, it is sexy. Oh, I can make a ton of money. I'm going to get some Bitcoin, you know, now it's hooked up to ATMs. I can go get my money, blah, 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 blah. But that being said, you know, a lot of these, like with annuities, with insurance, what's the key to that, Don? It's a long-term investment. You know, you want to put money in there that you're not going to, like, you know, you're not going to go without a meal because you're paying for insurance or annuities. You know, there's so many rules and regulations that govern, you know, holy crap, you know, he's using all his money for this. He can't get this profit. Yeah, they're not doing that in Bitcoin. They're not doing that in gold. You know what I mean? And there's some products out there that, depending on when you buy it, the one company we were dealing with was guaranteeing 21% on a fixed deferred annuity. But there's the key. You got to keep it in there. Can you take the money out early? Yes. Are you going to get a huge penalty? You bet your ass you are. Yeah. So I know a lot of people, especially, are funding these things with their 401k, which makes no sense to me at all, Don, because the penalties you get when you take money out of your 401k early is just astronomical.
Yeah, if you're younger than 59 and a half years old, you immediately get a 10% penalty. So if you take funds out of your 401k. Now, you can borrow money from your 401k, and you know, you just pay it back. But to just take it out, yeah, you get that penalty plus the income tax that you have to pay on it. So those are considerations, and it's a good thing that you're talking about this. You know, safe. You know, it depends on what your risk aversion is. If you're tolerant of high risk, you know, do you want to go for it, or if you're totally low risk, you know. So it depends on what your risk aversion is. If you're, you know, if you're open to these type of different methods of funding your future. But also, when you talk with a financial advisor and they say, well, you want to have a balanced portfolio, maybe 60% in stocks, 10% in cash or something, or and the rest in bonds. Yeah, you can do that. But think of an annuity or even a whole life insurance policy. Instead of putting that money in bonds, you can put it into one of those policies. They're guaranteed. Those policies are guaranteed. and there's some tax advantages as well.
Yeah, and like what we said, there's so many checks and balances. So to see people, they're not gonna put their whole life savings into one thing, because the old boring saying, all your eggs in one basket rings very true. I'm gonna read a little bit of this down. Bitcoin's all-time high price is over $126,000 in October 2025. As of February 11th, the price has experienced a significant correction. They're not calling it a drop; they're calling it a correction. Trading around 66,000 to 70,000 range. The peak was driven by market trends and institutional interest. Recent high, the record high over 126, once again, 2025 October. Current status, the price has dropped roughly 45 to 47%. So if you're saying, Don, I'm going to go to the bank tomorrow, I'm going to take all that money out, I'm going to dump it all in Bitcoin. I don't care. I'm going to make so much money, it's going to be sick. Right? Who's going to stop you?
All right.
Nobody. But if you go into an annuity, they're going to look at all your finances and get a nice snapshot if you can afford to do what you're actually doing. Market context. Following the October 2025 peak, the market experienced a crypto winter, they're calling it, Don, scenario, with prices falling and consolidating. That's the closest they're saying to dropping, The previous high prior to the 2025 surge, what do you think that was, Don? And that was in early 2025.
I think it was 40 or 50,000.
73,000.
Oh, 73. That's right.
So, like I said, annuities and life insurance isn't sexy, but it's safe. If you're a young person running around with your hair on fire like I used to be, and I hey, I got this great deal. Oh yeah, let's do it. But with age comes wisdom. You don't want to lose what you worked hard for. I mean, don't buy a professional basketball team. I'll tell you that right now. I was watching an interesting thing yesterday about John Y. Brown, Don.
Oh,
and
wow.
I didn't really know the whole story of everything, but it's funny. He started off with the ABA Kentucky Colonels that he purchased from. He actually purchased Kentucky Fried Chicken from Colonel Sanders for like $30 million back then.
Oh, wow.
And that's how he amassed his fortune, by expanding. But then again, his name was the Kentucky Colonels. Do you remember that? Because that's way before my time, Don.
No, I don't.
That's a god-awful name. And they were winning championships left and right. And I didn't realize how popular and successful the Buffalo Braves were in their first couple of years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were.
Do you know why the big reason is they moved when Paul Snyder bought the team? It blew my mind when I heard this.
You mean, Paul Snyder he formed the team, and then he sold it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do know why, because they shared the Memorial Auditorium where the Buffalo Sabres also played, and the Sabres had priority for the dates.
Oh, they went farther than that. The college teams had priority over the basketball team too.
That's right, because the local college, UB, Canisius, St. Bonaventure, Niagara.
And if you own an NBA team, you had a guarantee that you had a weekend date, preferably a Saturday open, and they gave you 5 years to do it. And if not, you lost all TV revenue. And he said straight out, that was 50% of my profit. There was no way we were going to do it because of the contract that was in there.
Yeah.
And then it was like they were going to build a stadium in 2 seconds.
Yeah. No, exactly.
It was a very interesting story. And we're at the midpoint of the show, and we're going to talk about our next sponsor, Don. And I think they updated their website yesterday. I'm not sure. We're going to have to take a look and see. But that is your friends at EBI Agency. So is it coming up yet?
Oh, no, it's not up yet.
Hey, it's coming. Gotta be. Websites aren't made in a day.
It looks great. Nice update.
Mm-hmm.
So welcome to our herd. I like that. EBI Agency. Yeah, go
Yes.
ahead. Go ahead.
No, like Donnie Lewis says, it's not a one size fits all. So, what do you mean by that, Don? Because I mean, it's written there, and I know what it means. And why did you come up with that one day when we were on the podcast? I'm sure you said it way before the podcast, but tell us what you mean by that.
Well, when we sit down with clients or potential clients, we don't have a solution in the back of our mind before we even sit down with the client. So we want to find out exactly what your needs are, what your wants are, what your long-term goals are, what your short-term goals are or plans are. And we'll just provide a solution based on that. We're not going to say, well, sorry, we only have, quarter inch, three eighths inch, and half inch circles. Sharon.
Go see Sharon if you want to buy a house.
So the solutions that we provide for you, based on your input and talking with you, and so we don't say, well, we can only provide this solution, so this is what you're going to go with. We give you alternatives. We're not beholden to one insurance company or two.
No.
We have a variety, number. Really, we have got over 50 insurance carriers that we can select from. So there's definitely, a product solution for you.
And we even did an audio video section. I mean, we have over 4,000 videos right now. You can go to Spotify to listen to us. You can go to YouTube. You can actually go to EBI Agency and just go through this carousel of podcasts, and you can find something you want to read. And I added yesterday, Don, our new fun toy. So we've been creating original recordings using Al Intelligence, and then we also are friends at Combined Insurance with their out-of-pocket advisors. So check out the website. I was having some issues yesterday, so I figured it's time to just rip a Band-Aid off and start a couple things different that I thought would be cool, and that's what I did. So let's go back into the meat and potatoes of this, Don. Like I said, what's screwing up, which I think, and I don't know if you're in agreement, that people are starting to short this stuff. You know what I mean? Talking Bitcoin. So let's jump into what is the flavor of the month this month, and it's gold again. People are jumping into the gold market, into gold futures, which I don't have any problem. There's a lot of annuities that you can pick gold futures as one of the places you're putting your money. That's what's nice thing about I can't even talk about annuities. You can pretty much decide with your advisor what would be the best moves for you. I always like gold futures and real estate futures. I mean, eventually the real estate boom is going to pop, but not yet. The big difference between Buffalo and New York, I mean, you put your house up for sale in Buffalo, it goes quick.
And for the most part,
there's not that huge inventory, but there's been such huge growth and expansion here. They're saying by 2030 that Texas is going to bypass California as having the most people. And so there's a lot of new development. It's kind of like, remember how we just talked about Buffalo, everything on the outside, in the middle, there was nothing. It was like an empty donut. Well, it's the way around. The donut's filled in the middle here, and you got to keep on going out because it gets to be so expensive the closer you are to Dallas, And like I said, the crazy thing about living in the Dallas Metroplex is that construction is constantly happening on the roads. I mean, you're looking at 4, 5, 6, even 7-lane highways that they're building.
That's crazy.
It's so great. I know a lot of guys that, I know when my kids bought their house in Philadelphia, there was only 2 guys you could use. Here, not only do you have different companies that are building houses, but you have individuals that are building houses on their own. And I know one of my buddy, he just finished a house. And in 3 months, he had no one look at it.
Wow.
And another house that he had dropped $50,000. and he dropped another 40,000. So that's a $90,000 swing that he would have normally had if the market wasn't like, I mean, right now the inventory is huge. I know when I looked for a new apartment, back in the middle of last year, there were 17,000 available rental units in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
It's crazy.
You're talking over 14 million people right now. I know the number keeps on going up. So let's just jump back into gold. As of early February 2026, gold reached a record all-time high with prices surging above 5,100. Okay.
Yeah.
The record peak. Now this is interesting, Don. This is not the highest gold has ever went. Did you know that?
No, I didn't do enough research on the gold.
Oh no, bad Eddie. I was reading it wrong. They're saying that yeah, it's not as high as it's right now. It was just last month where they hit the peak. It was $5,600. That's crazy.
I think it dropped a little bit.
They're talking about what's driving the price. The surge is attributed to global tensions, including conflicts in the Middle East and concerns regarding U.S. Federal Reserve policy.
Yeah.
Market forecast. Some analysts have suggested potential to speculative future highs reaching upwards of $6,000. I mean, you can even go to a big box retailer right now, like Costco, and buy gold. You can go in there and buy it. Walk out there with gold.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Gold coins or what?
They're like little itty bitty flat coin. Not coins. It almost looks like a little bar, but it's only an ounce.
Yeah.
And how much? Remember, like gold finger, poor dogs with all that gold and everything. How much does the average gold bar weigh in the Federal Reserve?
If there's still gold in there, they never released that, by the way.
Hey, look there, squirrel! And yeah, a lot of misdirection, that's for sure.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't know.
I had to look it up yesterday, Don. 24 pounds.
24. Okay, I was gonna say 10 pounds, but so, wow.
How much is 24 pounds of gold? This is gonna blow you away.
Well, it's 16 ounces in a pound times 24 times $5,000.
It's throwing up on itself. It's trying to figure it out. So one gold bar, Don, is $1,790,250.
Wow.
And now in your neighborhood, when is gold bar polishing still Thursday night in Williamsville?
Yeah. We changed it to Wednesdays.
Oh, did Nick know? My buddy Nick? He lives by you.
Yeah, make sure it's nice and shiny.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is. And I wanted to mention about Bitcoin because I think, well, there's always, people saying it's going to go up, it's going to go down. It just depends on what their experiences are, I guess, and how they're looking at it. But a lot of people are saying that it is going to go up in value again. Bitcoin specifically.
By a lot.
Well, so Charles Schwab they manage like $12 trillion worth of money, I guess. They're launching a Bitcoin and crypto buying this year. That's one of the firms. JP Morgan is buying into cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. The federal government is, Trump is working to have.
We're going to have the most Bitcoin anybody in the world. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be huge. It's going to be gorgeous. It's probably going to have money about it. Just saying.
Yeah. So there's a billionaire. His name is Bill Miller the fourth. Yesterday he told CNBC that the Fed's about to print a lot of money and it's going to send Bitcoin higher because of that. So the bottom is in, and I think it's just going to grow. That's what a lot of people are saying.
And for all you guys and girls out there, because it happens to both sexes, when you're doing online dating, you're going to run into people from different countries that are immigrants here that all have the best idea on how to make money on Bitcoin. Don't do it, guys and gals. Don't do it. As soon as I heard that when I was on doing the online dating, I ran the other way because I knew it was coming. Because then they were like very adamant about it, and they would get really mad when you didn't want to hear about it. Like, have you diversified your portfolio? I own Insurance Questions Podcast, so I think I know a little bit about what you're doing. And I am not an expert on Bitcoin, but we have both learned more than I think we ever thought we would have to know about Bitcoin.
The same with the rest of the world, really.
Because if you were in early, you did well. You did very well. I mean, do you know there's companies out there that speculate on if Bitcoin's going to make money or lose money, and you can make money if you bet the right way?
That's not crazy.
For Christ's sakes, you know what I mean? It just, I don't know.
That's crazy.
I have no words for that one.
So I wanted to just touch upon real quick. I think we have a few more minutes left, but
you're doing just
regarding annuities, that we talk about the benefits of annuities and some drawbacks too, but we always talk about leaving a legacy, and
yes.
You can actually set up a charitable gift annuity where it can pay you for the rest of your life, the annuity, and then you can have its proceeds go to a charity. So there's, there's a few steps involved with that. You have to create a charitable remainder trust is one of the things that you can do. But by doing something like that, it gives you tax advantages that you normally would not see. So just to keep that in mind, if you're thinking about leaving a legacy, you can do it with an annuity, and you can also do it with your life insurance policies. You can have, I know some physicians that it's not that they're required to, but they're strongly encouraged to get a life insurance policy, a whole life policy, with the idea the sole beneficiary is the medical institution that they are employed with. So,
well, it's funny you're bringing that up, Don, because there's a very wealthy man in Western New York that everybody knows if I would have said the name, and I'm not going to. And I would, whenever he had a new business deal, he would call me up, and I would write him $1 million in term policy because that was part of the negotiations for that contract. That if he croaked off, it's kind of like the old key person insurance and things like that, which we should really get into that on an episode. We don't have enough time to go into.
No, not today.
No, but that is definitely something that's important because, we worked with a lot of different businesses, and especially if you have more than one partner, like it'd be me and Donnie, it'd be like, yeah, I can't say, but yeah, Donnie doesn't do that. And then Donnie's on the pickleball court talking to his buddy saying, yeah, he sucks. I do all the work. We would be no place without me. And we've seen this in real time. People talk like this. I who I'm thinking of, Don, the three guys, and
yeah.
Every one of them had the same story. Yeah, we'll be talking about it, but yeah, these guys don't want. I do all the work around here, and you would get the same story from all three of them,
Yeah.
and I don't want to scare people with this, but when you start thinking about doing something like that to make sure that you are securing your funds, securing everything for your futures, that you're going to be gone, that once you just drag your feet and you don't do anything about it, that's when bad things happen.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
Very
Don,
true.
just with me and you and me doing all the tech things on the podcast, if I die tomorrow, the podcast dies with me.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
scaring the hell out of me, you know? So we gotta start making some money so we get somebody that can do all this crap for us done. That way, if I cook off, you can keep on going. You can find yourself another Eddie Buffalo. Maybe my cousin Dusty Dallas. He could do a show from him. You know,
There's only one Eddie Buffalo.
you know the
Thank
world.
goodness.
The world thanks itself for that too. But, you know, I hope we didn't scare people. We didn't do that for that reason. We're just, there's so many safe things and so many smart things you can do for yourself too. And I'm not calling anybody dumb. Don't take it that way, because my old saying of not saying it's a no-brainer, Don. I never say that anymore.
That's right.
Talk to somebody, or do your own research, But when you Google something, make sure you read more than the first article. Okay, because a lot of times those are sponsored by somebody. Advance their own agenda. Yeah. You know what you should buy, Don? Zima beer. But put all your money into Zima beer. That's going to be the wave of the future. Which was trash. That stuff was god awful. Was that beer or pop, Zima? I can't remember.
I don't know. I don't think I ever heard of that.
Oh no, it happened, Don. It happened. I like I said a little bit. We've had so much fun with. Well, I don't know how much you liked your song I made for you, but I started using a company by the name of Suno to make original songs, because one thing sucks about being a podcaster is that we can get taken down for so many different things, whether you say something crazy or bigger if you use a bit of music.
Yeah.
So the reason I really am embracing Suno is that we own it. We own it all. Nobody can take me down. I can play the whole damn thing if I want to.
Yeah.
And, so I did a Donnie Lowe song, which was it was okay. Yeah, Stephanie's got her own song. My buddy Nick, if you want to check out a funny song, check out Commander Snowbank, and you'll hear about the escapades of Eddie Buffalo and Nick, his buddy sidekick Nick. And so back in South Buffalo in New York for years, my next door neighbor was a wonderful lady. She's passed now. Her name was Carol. And when I moved into this new area that I'm in Greenville, it's set up it's like one-story house, condos, and it's like straight, and then on the other side it's duplicated, and so you can pretty much see your neighbors across. And every time I see poor gal, I call her Carol. So I came home yesterday and I was talking to him, like, you know what, it's time to do a song. And I did a song about Gail. And I'm just going to tell you the title of the song, Don. And I kill myself sometimes. Somebody probably wish I was. So the name of Gail's song is Bless Your Heart, Eddie. My name isn't Carol. And she just texted me like 2 seconds ago laughing because I think she finally noticed it. So we'll go over some of the hits here. That one, Donnie Lowe knows. What's the whole thing I know? Donnie One knows a guy, but Donnie knows and what he loves most is his family. So I'm gonna turn this down so you don't have to hear it. Try on a different shirt. You know where that's from, Don. Trying different careers. I get a little bit maudlin too. Grateful Now That I Found You. It's all about you, Donnie. I love you, baby. We did a fun EBI media song when we hit our 4,000, which it really cracks me up because it paints Donnie as the brains behind the operation of everything. He's saying, Eddie, I got you on this, which he does keep me grounded. I will say that. It's Our Year, the Ballad of Josh Allen. And I've been sharing it to a lot of different Buffalo Bills sites. There's so many of them, and people have been really in it. And then an homage to my Super Bowl party that I went to. It's the Pinchy Gringos and the Hot Latinas. Thought Out My Heart in Texas. I loved going to concerts when I was a young man, and God, where am I gonna get $15 for this? A lot of money, you know. So I did a song that was $15 is all I need.
That's a good one.
There's always next year after we missed the playoffs, you know. I'm doing a lot of Spice Girl songs. Stephanie, the Mexican Spice Girl. We did a very interesting song, Scotchman Blues, about Eddie Buffalo. I used to be called Scotchman. Everybody didn't like Scotchman except me. So my mom bought a Jerry started like listening and talking to him, Eddie Yankee, Eddie. So I made a song about him called Jerry Buffalo, about the saddest cowboy that wanted to be a Buffalonian.
Oh my goodness. Salt
and pepper bar. Dessert is always tasty. Do you know what a salt and pepper bar is, Don? Look it up. Look it up.
Oh boy.
And Commander Snowbank, A Cautionary Tale. Hi, Nick. And I'm not going to say this one. So a young fellow at the gym named Josh, he's like, he doesn't even have a gym membership at his place, just keeps on going on free passes. So I called him Josh the Gym Whore. And that song went in a totally different direction.
I can imagine.
She's as smooth as 1800 tequila. Still fighting. I did a boxing song. St. Patty's Day in South Buffalo. I did a song about hoppers and 9/11 Tavern.
Just about 5 weeks, so.
I know, right? Sweet tea that I'm with is the sweetest tea of all. I did a song for church that they really like a lot. I did it in a Christian rock genre it's called Grace Life. I did about my new hometown, Greenville, Texas, which is pretty good. Life is a roller coaster. We always kid saying, because I know I took my kids all the time to Darien Lake in Buffalo, New York, the amusement park there. And how many times have I said to you, Don, enjoy the rest of your day at Darien Lake. Do not get up until the ride has come to a complete stop and the lap bar is totally up. And so I kind of went with that with the Life is a Roller Coaster, but it came out very religious, which I don't know. Today is my day. I did an inspirational song. And then I don't know if you know what I meant by this next song, Don. Hey, buddy, can you spare a case quarter?
No.
Case quarter is what you were calling the quarters you put in Pac-Man and Space Invaders at the arcade.
Okay.
One of my favorites, the Polish Irish Cowboy. I wonder who that's about.
Not me.
Another boxing song, My Heart is in My Fist. And then there's a young couple from England that go to my church. He's 6'4" and she's not. And I did a song for him because he loves the Spice Girls. And the name of his song is 6'4" Spice Girl. And I got invited to a party, and his wife Julie said, "Hey, you gonna come?" I go, "No, I got a date, blah blah blah." And she goes, I really like Adam's song, but I don't got a song. I'm like, oh, you're gonna have a song now. So Julie is the salty Spice Girl. 70s kids, and one of my favorites, 73 Catalina. So you can actually go to EBI Media, on YouTube, and you can also go to EBI Agency and go to the Sono tag, click it, and you'll be able to listen to all these songs in their entirety. And it's free, Don. It's free.
That's great.
So we have 1 minute left, so we're at the end of our show. I hope it was kind of like this is what you should do kind of show. And I didn't want it to be like that. And I mean, it wasn't exciting. We weren't, rallying the troops or anything like that, but just try to think before you do something, you know? Don't be a sheep. Don't follow the herd. Follow our herd. Eddie Buffalo and Johnny and we'll take care of you. But it's like the old saying says, don't put all your eggs in one basket. You know, you work hard for it, you know. Tune in tomorrow. We have asked Dr. Andy, and he talks a little bit about when he was a ring doctor, Don. No. No. It is about heart disease. Our Valentine's special with Dr. Andy. The boxing shows next week. What better way to spend Valentine's Day than talk about heart disease with Dr. Andy?
Exactly.
So romantic, isn't it, Don?
Oh my gosh.
So I want to thank everybody for being with us. We're getting a little bit back on track with all our shows. Monday, back to Buffalo Fights. Tuesday, EBI News for You. Wednesday, another Insurance Questions podcast. And Thursday, once again, Dr. Andy's show about being a ring doctor next Thursday. And we didn't get huge numbers like we normally do because I think because of the time it's on, and plus we had a little trouble posting it. But Late Night with Eddie Buffalo, we did really good on that show. If you like hearing about music, if you like hearing about bands, if you like hearing about people throwing up peanut shells, that's the show for you. So
That's gotta hurt.
yes. Well, it's funny because I use a program, Don, you know what program I use to do the viral clips. And that had the most viral clips of any one we've ever done. We had like 24 viral clips.
It's easy for you to say.
You wascally wabbit, you. So check it out. We had fun. We're gonna do that show until people don't like it anymore, which hopefully they won't. But once again, thank you very much for being with us. Me and Donnie really appreciate everything. If you like working with people that are just like you, have the same values that you do, have the same passion for life, and love your children as much as we do ours, we are definitely the people you need to be working with. You can reach us at the beautiful website, ebiagency.com. You can have fun with that too. You know, you can buy insurance, buy annuities, and hear a couple crazy tunes. You know, I'm the new dumb ditties, Don, from K-Cal. You know,
That's right.
Because as we always say, life is worth living. What do you got to do, Donnie?
You got to keep on fighting, baby.
On fighting. So we'll see everybody. Have a nice weekend, and make sure you tune in to Dr. Andy tomorrow. There's very interesting stuff about heart disease. So take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Ciao. Ciao.
Arrivederci.